James Bond is officially hitting reset, and this time the legendary spy is entering the gaming world like never before.
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
007 First Light drops on May 27th for PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S, taking fans back to Bond's brutal beginnings inside MI6 before he ever earned the famous 00 license.
I suppose this is another teachable moment.
Yeah, I mean, I know I mentioned earlier that the first time I heard the whole story was Martin sat me down and told it to me, and I think I was immediately struck just by the scope of the storytelling. You know, having 16 to 20 odd hours to tell a story, and a Bond story, you know, feels quite literary almost.
This is not the polished super spy audiences know. This Bond is younger, reckless, still learning how to kill, survive, and become 007.
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
And you are? Don't think we've had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
The game comes from IO Interactive, the studio behind the blockbuster Hitman franchise, with Irish actor Patrick Gibson playing a mid-20s version of Ian Fleming's iconic spy. And, according to Gibson, the game explores a side of Bond nobody has ever seen before.
The only other times we've seen that is in the books, when you can spend that much time with the character. And that coupled with getting to play him at a time when we haven't seen that before, was so exciting, and then also equally terrifying, because I was like, okay, now there's nothing to draw on from this time of his life, and I really had to trust these writers, and which thankfully I could. You know, Martin and the rest of the team were incredible, and so to meet Bond at a time in his life when audiences haven't was very exciting, and I hope that it's done the character justice. But also working with these actors, I mean, everyone has been incredible, and the best part about it, for sure.
Joining the mission are Priyanga Berford as MI6 Chief M and Lety James as new character John Greenway.
The creative endeavor of it and the acting experience of it, even though it's been kind of obviously technique-wise quite different doing the performance capture, it's basically been the same that you would bring to any kind of acting role. And then working with all these other incredible creatives has been the privilege. The noise around it is something quite separate, but that's not generated by us. That's like out there somewhere. But the work that's been done, that's gone into this, has been incredible and skilled, and that's kind of what we're focused on while we're making the thing.
But while the game promises intense action, espionage, and gunfights, fans are also asking one question: will this younger Bond still have game with women?
It was very intense. I mean, it was, of all of the things that we'll say about the process, it was more on Paddy than it was on all of us, because he was the constant. He's the one who's worked with all of us in the room individually, and we haven't necessarily worked with each other in the room individually. So, just because of availability and practicalities, I mean, it's a logistical nightmare organising one of these things, but, luckily we were in the hands of people who knew what they were doing. So, given the way in which we were doing, it was relatively smooth. When we were in the room, we were focused on doing the job that we had to do, and the gaps in between, didn't last and didn't affect the process that much. When we were in the room, because time was precious, we had to get on with it. So, and I think that was the most important thing, was that our focus on doing the job when we were there to do it.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
And you are? Don't think we've had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
So you shouldn't have.
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board. She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
Tell me, what do you do, James?
Lately, headhunting.
I suppose this is another teachable moment.